Hi friends, it's Anne here, and today's video is my second update for my nail polish project pan for 2022. And yes, I have purple hair. Hi, if you're new, my hair is completely different than what it's been like for the past, well, at least the past couple of years, and it's never been a bright color like this. It's translating on camera a little darker. Anyway, this is a nail polish project pan video, but I do want to talk about my hair and some of the process, so I'm going to chat about that at the end of this video. We'll just start off with the nail stuff, so if you don't care about the hair stuff, you can exit out then. So let's start with the panning part, and then we'll talk about the February picks. And then we'll finish up with the new picks that I have for March. So the nail polish that I've been trying to pan is this one from Julep. This is in the shade Miriam. It's going slow. I did use it a few times. I feel like it's just barely below where it was though, and I don't really know why, because I feel like I used it quite a bit. I think I said I was going to maybe keep this in. I guess this is update 2, so technically, because this is going like mid-month, so it's a bit confusing. I could keep this in one more month, but it's just not a spring color. I'm not feeling it anymore. I've tried to use it, like I said, a few times. Again, if I have some pictures, I'll throw them up. I did wear this once with the Sally Hansen, I forget the name of it, but what I call the lip gloss color. It's like putting a lip gloss over the nail polish. It's sort of like white, sparkly. And it looked really cool because it sort of pulled out some blue tones out of the sparkle. It actually kind of became a bit similar to Clara, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I'm kind of over this. I think I'll bring this back in the fall because it is it's over halfway done, and I think it's definitely one that I could finish. So I think I'll end up bringing this back in the fall and hopefully be able to finish it then. Let's talk about the nail polish I have on my nails today. So this is what they look like right now. I've had this on for, I'd say 2 days now, and it's looking pretty good still. This is the NYC. There's no actual shade name. It's like 128A. This brand doesn't exist anymore. I do have like a little marker on the side. It's definitely, I think, settled below that. It's kind of hard to see though, because there's sort of like, it sort of separates a little bit near the top, but yeah, it's definitely below that line a little bit. Love this color. This is one that I talk about that's like, I don't have to think about nail polish. I can even just throw a single coat of this on and it looks fine. It just tidies up my nails, and it's kind of like those easy, like when you want to put a bit of makeup on kind of day, but you don't really want to do a full face of makeup. That's kind of like what this nail polish is. It's like, I just want to throw something on my nails because they're not looking great, and it'll just spruce them up a little bit without a whole lot of effort. So I mentioned this a little bit before. This is Clara. Actually, yeah, you can really see the blue shift there. Love this color. I'm getting really sad that this is getting pretty low. I did draw a line on the side of this. It is ever so slightly below that line. Like you can see, we're down to about 1/3 on this one. I'm gonna be so sad when this is done. I haven't looked to see yet for similarities. I went to the one site, I can't remember who mentioned it, but there's a site that does sort of like duping polishes. She doesn't have anything on her site right now. It's like a duping polish, but she does say, the person that does the nail polishes, I think, says like you can, put in suggestions. But I also haven't checked INLP. I'm gonna look on their site to see if there's anything similar, because I would like to buy another shade. Although I say that, but then whatever else I buy is not Clara, right? It's like getting another cat. It's not Clara, Well, that was really sad. Sorry. But you know what I mean? Like, maybe I just need to like accept that this little special thing, when it's done, and that's okay, But we'll see. If I do come across a similar one, I probably would buy it. So these two I use together. More julep polishes. I have a lot of julep polishes still that I want to get through, and I do like panning these because they're smaller than an average nail polish. So the first one I have, what's this one? This one is Lupita. So these were the 2 shades. I did post this on my Instagram. It was a really rough photo. You can see it's a little bit below the line. Not a whole lot. I only used this that time. I used this one a couple of times, and I was able to draw a new line on this one. This is in the shade Alexandria. It's like a beige color. Again, really close to being finished. I think I might keep this out. I wasn't going to, but now that I'm sitting here, this was not in the plan. I'm gonna keep this out. I might use this. I'm gonna keep this out. Sorry if it's getting really bright. It's one of those days where it's kind of bright, kind of not bright. and I can't get the camera settings right. Now that I have completely different hair, I cannot figure out my camera settings at all. There, hopefully that's a little bit better, not so, I'm just like a white orb. And what else do we have? This is the last one. I can't recall if I drew this line or if this line was on there before. This is the Maybelline Color Show in the shade Alluring Rose. Really enjoy this color. I did wear this, I think I wore this in my, no, I don't know. This is the color though that matched sort of the eyeshadow and the lip color that I had in my last nail polish video. It's sort of that pink, like a hot pink under like fuchsia color with like a bluey purple iridescent shift to it. Love this kind of color. These, I'm surprised they don't make these anymore because these were actually really good nail polishes. They had a lot of interesting colors. So let's talk about the March picks, and this is the surprise to both of us. This is going to be part of my March picks. Was not intended. I'm picking, so I did not explain how I'm doing this at all at the beginning, distracted by my hair. I am trying to pick about one polish every 3 months to pan. I already did pan one at the beginning. It only took me a month to finish it up, so that's why I started working on the Miriam one. But yeah, I'm kind of like over that one for now, and I want to start working on something else. So I am gonna maybe work on this one for a little bit, but that wasn't the one I was intending to work on. The one that I was gonna work on was this guy. It's a mini, but I think it will be tricky because I think this is a thinner type polish. This is the Color Workshop, you know, those like sets that you see at the drugstore. And I don't think I saved everything. Maybe I did save all the nail polishes. No, I did not. I think I did declutter a couple, but I did save this one. What it looks like in the bottle is not what it really comes out as. So it looks much deeper in the bottle. Like you would think this is like a really deep iridescent purple. It's not. It's more sheer. So how I'm planning on using this is more of like a top coat with other polishes, and I hope that makes it easier to use. So there's what it looks like on the nail card. And like you can see, it's very, very sheer, this sort of like light purple, grayish, iridescent color. So I'm hoping it makes it a little more interesting to use my other polishes with having that as like a top coat. Again, I don't know because it's so thin and I probably only use one coat. How well that will go, we're gonna see. We're gonna try it out. Speaking of, I did talk about the Color Show one that I had. I picked another Color Show one. Obviously picked this one because of my hair. This is a bit more blue than my hair. This is in the shade Passionate Plum. And you can see it's pretty full. It's one that I don't use pretty regularly because I've had this forever, so I barely use it, let's be honest. Not even regularly, like barely use it, because it's pretty intense. Like if I'm gonna go for an intense color, I often tend to go for pinks, not generally blues, and I already have a couple other blues that I sort of gravitate towards more. And this is, yeah, like a purpley blue, but yeah, I picked it because of my hair. I thought, this reminds me of my hair, so we're gonna go with it. I also realized looking at my polishes, so the way I did it this month, did I finish even what I was saying? Oh my god, I feel like I'm a scatterbrain. So I'm picking one polish to try and finish, and then I'm picking about 5-6 polishes every month so I can go through my whole collection. And I'm doing this a little differently than my other projects where I'm just picking these. I'm trying to make this one easy on myself. I'm just picking them. I'm not thinking too hard about, you know, picking 3, rouletting 3. I just want to make this an easy video. Clearly it's not been an easy video trying to film this because I'm like chaotic. I wasn't planning on filming today, but I desperately wanted to film when my hair was looking fairly good, which we'll get to. Anyway, I was looking at my nail polishes and I had a lot of greens, so I wanted to pull one of the greens out. This is the Pretty Woman polish in, they call it something blue, and it drives me crazy because it's green. It's definitely a green polish. It's a teal green. This was a pretty new polish to me. I think I got this in 2020, maybe 2021 early, from a Top Box or a Luxe Box. So I feel like, if I remember correctly, I don't like this one as much as the other Pretty Woman that I had in my January picks. I just realized I forgot to show you the little nail swatches. So that's the nail swatch of the Passionate Plum, and then that's the nail swatch of the Something Blue, which is not blue at all. It's called Something Green in my head. Okay, even though I threw in that Alexandria back in the project, I was thinking about, I always try and keep, or I think about like having a neutral type color. So the neutral type one I picked is this one from Julep. It's called K, and yeah, it's just an easy breezy nail polish. I've drawn lines on all of these to see progress changes, if I do have any progress changes. But yeah, this one's a really easy one, so I'll just show you what it looks like on the thing. It's like a nice taupey brown, but it's like shimmery. So it's a nice easy color to wear. Of course, we're getting into spring, so I wanted to pick something that was like a pastel color. So I picked this one. This is from that Color Club set that I bought at the end of last year where there was like 7 polishes. There was 3 creams, I think, and 5 glitters. You can actually see the lid on this one is a bit torn up. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not because it's white, thank God. I had to use, so I couldn't get this open. I have the kitchen scissors that have like the little teeth thing between the handles. They're great for getting the nail polish lids off, by the way. So yeah, this one I had a hard time opening up. I haven't used this since then. It's just sort of like a, is this periwinkle? No, it's a little more purple. It's a little, yeah, I think periwinkle is supposed to be a little more blue. Maybe not. I don't know. I need to look up what periwinkle is. This is like a bluey purple pastel. Really, really pretty color. I'm excited to play with that one because like I said, I think I've only used it the once. And then yeah, I was just looking for another polish that I hadn't used and I was trying to avoid just all picking julep polishes. I tend to gravitate towards them for some reason, but I do have other polishes. So I decided to pull this one because I barely used it. It's from the shade or brand called Brune. I don't know anything about this brand. When I got this in Top Box, I was like, I don't trust this brand. They had set up their website and it didn't have its SSL cert, website stuff, done properly, and it made me nervous. And there was just something sketchy about, I don't know if it was sketchy how their website was set up, but it was just very amateur, which is nervous if you're like buying something off their website. Pretty sure they've switched over to a Shopify website now, if I remember correctly, if it still exists. I did check it out, like, I don't know, not recently, but since then, and it was a bit different. And again, I forgot to show the nail colors. So that's the Color Club one, which by the way, they don't have color names on them. Even though there's on their website, the shades have colors for whatever reason in the kits, unless I threw, like it was on the box and I threw that out. But there's that one. And then this is that Brune one, which also does not have a shade name. It's just shade number 7. Again, it's kind of brown. It's a little more brown than what it looks like. You'd think it's a bit more pinky, but it turns out a little bit more brown on the nails. So I'll just I like to throw up a picture of the nail polishes that I have picked for this round beside each other, as well as a little photo of the nail cards so you can kind of see the color story. There really was no rhyme or reason to this color story. I felt like last month was a bit more cohesive, or at least I was leaning towards pinks, I could tell last month, and I was thinking about like Valentine's Day, whereas this month it's just like, just random. I guess maybe thinking about spring a little bit. So yeah, that's the nail polish project pan update number 2. So if you want to stick around, I'm gonna talk about my hair for a little bit. So for some reason on camera, it keeps pulling blue on my camera. On my cell phone, it's not so blue. I did post some photos on my Instagram already. I will also post a photo that the hairstylist, what he posted on his Instagram, because it looks like the picture he posted is what it looks like in real life. Like it's definitely much more purpley. I feel like on camera it's showing blue, but I can't figure out my coloring to get it to show a bit more accurate. So yeah, so I've talked about dyeing my hair purple for quite some time. Actually, pre this channel, I've talked about it for on and off for years, but I know on this channel I've talked about it at least for the past 6 months, because I went to one salon to try and get it done and didn't really work out. And then I tried to do it myself, did not work out. And I was like, okay, I am going to do this for real. I think it was, I forget what video I said it was in, like recently, and I was like, I really want to do purple hair. And I was like, right after that, I started going on Instagram and looking for hair salons in Toronto and like different ones that did like hair coloring. Because like a colorist and like a hairstylist are not the same. I've kind of learned that like people that are good at, you know, hair dyeing is different than just somebody that's really good at like just hair styling. And I came across a salon that had photos of hair that I really liked. There wasn't too many deep colors. They had a lot of light colors, but it was like, I actually did really like the light colors, but I was so set on getting the purple. And I was like, it's so out of season and I really should go for like the lilac, or there's like a sort of rose kind of color that I was like, oh, that'd be so pretty too. But I'm like, no, I need to do the purple because I need to do this. Like I need to get it out of my system. And so I kind of did it randomly. I didn't know the salon. I don't know anybody that's been there. I didn't know the stylist. And yeah, this took forever. It took about 6 hours to do this. And to be honest, it turned out better than I could have imagined. I just sort of in my head assumed it would be like bleach all my hair, dye it purple, and then give it a trim. That is not what happened. But I'm amazed at how he did it. Like, I don't know if you can see, it almost looks like you know, like comic book hair. Like, I look like a superhero. Like, my hair looks like it could have been drawn by, like, Jen Bartel, if you know who that is. She does, like, a lot of female characters for, like, Marvel Comics, alternate covers and stuff like that. She has a very particular style. So what he ended up doing was he cut it at first, which I was surprised, like, it didn't look like he took a lot of length, but I didn't realize how heavy my hair was. I mean, he talked about that, and hairdressers always do this to try and cut away from the triangle head. He's like, you know, I want me to trim some layers into it, and he was really, like, smart about it. He's like, you know, I'm not gonna put too much layers in it because your hair's not very thick. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Like, my hair is not very thick. It's not super thin, but it's not thick, like, at all. It's pretty in the middle. Like, if we're gonna look at a spectrum of, like, thin to thick hair, mine's like a 2.5 to 3. Like, I'm about the middle, but maybe edging on the thinner side. Anyway, I didn't realize how heavy my hair was until he cut it, and I'm like, oh my god, my hair feels so light now, but it's still long, which I really like. And then, so we did low lights up top to sort of blend, like, my natural hair color down a little bit more, and then he did, like, a balayage type bleach. So he didn't just bleach all of it. He did like highlights bleaching, basically. I feel really bad. He was trying to explain it first, and he actually asked me if I'd bleach my hair. I didn't really understand what he said at first. Because he has a bit of an accent, which, I mean, this is Toronto. Everybody has an accent here. And so I couldn't really suss out exactly what he's... And then, of course, he's talking about hair stuff that I don't understand, too. So I'm trying to, like, understand all the different things he's saying. Plus, he had a bit of an accent. And I figured out eventually... dawned on me after. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. He probably thinks I'm an idiot because I wasn't understanding. Because eventually I was like, oh yeah, I bleached my hair. And he already asked me that like an hour before. But yeah, so he did sort of like a bleaching. He did it like in a way that I've never seen anybody do it before. Like, he sort of used the hair dryer. It was really interesting to see, like, instead of just sort of like, anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much because I'm not sure how much you guys care about that. But yeah, so he did like highlights, and then he sort of did it so it was like really blonde on the bottom, and then it sort of faded up so that the color would be really intense on the bottom and then fade up. And yeah, and then he did 2 different purples. So he did a deeper purple sort of near the roots, and then the brighter purple sort of everywhere. So then that's how I got this sort of blended effect. Hi. Anyway, so we're gonna just quickly wrap this up. So yeah, it turned out better than I could have even imagined. I also want to mention that he was the most conscientious, gentle hairdresser I have ever had. Like, when he brushed through my hair, he was so gentle. Because at point, so this was the weird thing. There was obviously like a junior stylist there. He would come in and help out. So at some point they were like both blow drying my hair. I was like, wow, 2 men at once. We won't go there. But yeah, it just kind of made me laugh. And like, obviously the junior stylist was not quite as gentle. And I was just, yeah, I've never had a hairdresser be so gentle. So that's, I think, why it took so long too, because he was so gentle and so careful and so precise. Like, it took about 6 hours to do all of this. I don't think I've ever been at a hairdresser that long in my life. Yeah, I was just amazed at how, like, conscientious he was. Oh, and the other funny thing was, of course, I had some coffee in the morning and some water, and I tried to make sure I didn't have to go to the bathroom, but then he was doing the balayage thing, which took way longer than I anticipated, and like, I kept thinking, he's close to being done, he's close to being done. Like, he was all the way up here, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom, and that's when I had, like, all the foils in my hand, and it was like, I have to go, like, I have to go. And he's like, it's okay. And then so after that, like, every time he would start something or do something, he's like, do you have to go to the washroom? Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it turned out way better than I could have imagined. A lot of times, so sounds terrible. If I go to like a nail salon or a hair salon, sometimes I get my hair done or my nails done and I think, I could have done that. I mean, I was watching how he was doing some of it, so I can maybe try and replicate it. He also gave me some dye so that I can reapply as it starts to fade. So this is, I mean, it's been a couple of days. I wasn't gonna film today, and I was like, no, I have to film. I have to film while my hair is still, I mean, it's not fresh. It's like 2 days, 3 days, I think, since I had it done. But the color is fresh. Like, I haven't washed it yet. So this is like the most intense that the color will be. And it's gonna start to fade. So he did give me some dye so that I can, you know, retouch it up and add color to it as it fades. But yeah, I just love how he did sort of this like gradient type effect so that as it grows out, it's not going to be like this like, you know, blunt, you know, hair, brown hair here, purple hair here kind of thing. It's going to really blend out really, really nicely as it grows out and fades. So yeah, like it turned out amazing. Like I am over the moon happy with my hair. I think I posted that on my Instagram that I feel magical. Like I feel like a totally different person with this hair. And my lesson learned there is, if you have like a kid that wants to dye their hair, friggin' let them. I always get so annoyed when parents are like, no, don't dye your hair, blah, blah, you're gonna regret it. No, like, I feel like a totally different person. And, you know, it's just hair. And that's what I said to him, like, too. Like, you know, he was like, oh, this, and he was so, and I'm like, just, it's hair. Like, don't stress. Like, I'm not stressed. I've had bad haircuts in my life. I've had, you know, I've turned my hair green by accident. But yeah, like I keep looking at my hair, and every time I look down, I'm like, oh, that's my hair. Like, I can't believe this is my hair. Again, I'll put the photo up that he took a picture of because it's like magazine hair. Like that doesn't look like my head. That does not look like my hair. I've never seen my hair look that good, and I don't think my entire life. Like it looks fresh and modern. And I don't know, it's like anybody that's sort of like close to my age, I think you start to realize like you sort of get set in the way you wear your hair and how you do your hair. And I feel a bit fuddy-duddy sometimes with my hair. I've totally sort of let it go as I've gotten older. And yeah, like I probably won't keep it purple forever. I'll use the dye that he gave me. I also have purple shampoo that I can use, which he said, you know, that will help as well. And I've got like the intense purple stuff, the stuff that's so purple it will like dye your hands purple. So I'll be able to keep it purple for a while. It was really expensive. So getting your hair done in Toronto is expensive in the first place. It just is. One of the reasons why I don't get my hair done regularly. But I definitely want to go back. Sorry, I've got like a goopy thing on my lip. I am so sorry. Oh, that's gross. I don't know how long that's been there. I'm sorry. So yeah, I definitely will go back to him. I just need to save up for it. It's not going to be a regular thing. Like maybe in the fall I'll go back, like late summer. Because yeah, I can't afford that. And I think whatever I do next, I probably won't go as intense as this. Like I said, he has a lot of photos of like more natural, like blended type colors or like lighter colors that I think are a little less process intense than this was. But yeah, that's the hair story in a nutshell. I don't know, I'll probably end up talking about it again because I'm obsessed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm obsessed. I don't use that phrase very often. That's very popular here on YouTube, but I am freaking obsessed with my hair right now, and I love it. Anyway, that was my nail update and my hair update, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, feel free to give a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here on Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I don't even know what my normal ending is. I am a hot mess in this video. I would love it if you subscribe. If you want to. I'm normally not this chaotic. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.